Hi, Renee. It is such a joy to actually be able to talk to you. Congratulations on Omnivore. It's such a great series. Let's just kick off. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so Omnivore is the first time I ever do TV. The idea for Omnivore started more than 10 years ago at a time when Noma was really getting to be known. I was offered to do TV, quite a bit of TV. There was never really time for it to do anything, but it did make me think if I was ever to do TV, what would I like to do? And, the inspiration of the great nature docs like Planet Earth was the first thing that came to mind. Probably my preferred TV as a youngster, watching David Attenborough and his calming, beautiful voice explain to you how important this tiny beetle under the leaf of an Amazonian forest was. And so we asked the question, could we make something like that where we have the scope that grand, but for food, and have people be inspired in that way? And then it sat on the back burner for, well, 6, 7 years until COVID came to be. And that's when we finally said, okay, we have a moment. Let's see if we can put this together. And that's kind of 4 years in the making now.
Yeah, because restaurant life is ridiculously busy. My parents have a restaurant, Mexican Salvadorian diner in the Central Valley here in California. I worked in the kitchen for many years, so yeah, I understand where that's probably the right time you had a pause. Unfortunately, it was you made the best of the circumstances.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure. Silver lining.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what I took away from it, it was that kind of planet Earth feeling because with so many shows on food and cooking, I was like, all right, where is this one going to stand out?
Mm.
And I think just how much you let the spotlight be on the people around these ingredients and how important and vital it is to them. I think that was my biggest takeaway, and I was blown away.
Mm. Well, that was the idea from the get-go, is that this was not to be, let's say, a travel show where I'm telling people where to eat or what to do. I'm just around to help guide people, not to be the host, to guide the viewer so that they can get to learn and understand and meet some new places on Earth, meet some people, the people behind our food, to listen to them a little bit, hear what they go through, the problems and the trials and tribulations that exist in their world, to which there are many. Of course, as you know, as a former restaurant worker, people that serve quality pretty much always have a hard time, if you want to serve good stuff or make good stuff. And in agriculture, it's terrible. So it was always kind of their place and their moment. And I would just pop in and out when we needed to just tie things together. And so I feel like we managed to do that, and I'm so happy actually for Apple, because it was very, very, very. When we took it out to people at first, they were like, "Hey, you guys, I'm not sure about this. Usually you need some sort of very, very big famous person, and I might be well known in the restaurant trade, but I'm not like a famous person. So, and then you want that person also not really to be on camera. That's going to be hard. And luckily, Apple, they could really see it. But it's been fantastic.
Yeah, they really had a good eye for a lot of series, and so a lot of times when there's something is presented like that to me, I welcome it usually, because the quality of the work. So Omnivore is no different. How were the ingredients chosen? Did you have other ones in mind, or is it really based on availability of kind of the people
No, we
surrounding?
had many others in mind, and I think we have more than 100 ingredients, and at least 20 more that we actually have proper research on, and it could have been them. Sugar was one of them, chocolate, and many others, wheat, for instance. But we ended up choosing a list of ingredients that somehow had different stories to tell and could also surprise a bit, so that it wouldn't be too many, of the great lasting staples of humanity: wheat, sugar, corn, rice, and so on, and potato. perhaps it would be one note stories.
What I really wanted to talk to you about, because it's really interesting, as someone who's used to cooking a lot and everything myself, you of course you take very, very good care of your ingredients and quite the respect for all ingredients. How do you feel people in general now are, do you feel like we take some ingredients for granted, like for say a salt, like a coffee, I mean
Of
chili
course,
in general? What is your experience in kind of
corn,
in
another one.
yes.
Absolutely, I think. I, I mean, of course, not be. I'm no historian, but plenty of people are saying that is this the moment where we've been the most detached from our food and where it comes from? Could possibly be, and you might be able to see some of the evidence of that from all the wastage that we have. We simply throw away our food, and I don't think you throw away things you value. Then you're like there's no way you do that. And most definitely, and I think at the end, at the heart of everything that we try to do is actually to instill a sense of new value for the viewer. Like, we don't want to tell you what to do or teach you anything or preach, but we want to inspire you and hopefully look at this show and be inspired that, wow, 30, 40 people might touch my coffee before I get to drink my $1 cup, and it's just hot water filtered through, and it takes 30 seconds. For all of that for 30 seconds of work, and then I drink it in another 10 seconds. And for us to realize that food is the most important and the most magnificent thing we have as a people, what we eat, what we choose to eat, more or less dictates how healthy we are. And how we grow our food more or less dictates how healthy the planet is. So, if we can just remember this a little more and value it a bit more and understand what lays behind all of it, it would be so much better. And I think you see that tremendously in the corn episode, where you go from this tiny little milpa in Yucatan to a pyramid of corn. It's
Yeah,
like the
I
Chichen of corn.
Yeah, no, it's there's so many just amazing scenes that you guys showcase, but I think what I love about it is showcasing the humanity also behind each ingredient, like you're saying. And that way I think that with audiences you'd be able to connect the best because you see how much care there is in the women who are going up the mountains and in getting salt
Oh,
and then
yes.
the tuna wars that are going on in Japan
Mhm.
and the bidding and all that. And then the beautiful houses that are just like adorned with paprika and
Mhm.
everything that goes into it. And I think that connection, I think, is where I love the show so much because you can put them together. You kind of already talked a little bit about this, but maybe we elaborate a little bit. What do you hope people take away from Omnivore?
I hope people will be inspired to want to learn more about the stuff they eat every day, and to ask some more questions to themselves. Wow, this cup of coffee, I have it every day. I actually know nothing about it. Maybe I should know. Who's behind my coffee? Actually, wouldn't it be nice to see if my coffee is from Mexico, from Tabasco, or from Veracruz? Okay, who's growing my coffee? And what's happening with that? And I think, of course, people live busy lives and there's not much time, but I think you know it would be amazing if people would appreciate that a bit more. Um, that's a simple hope.
Yeah, it'd be really easy if you put it that way. And like you said, it would we are what we eat. It's
Hmm.
important to know what we're putting in our bodies, and eventually that would make us all a better people in general. Renee, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you. I appreciate the show. Being able to talk to a fellow culinarian.
Say hello to your family.
Will do. Thank you so much for your time.